the heels to the floor. This is where the next movement kicks off from. You're going to release the head and the push and bring the knees to just barely grazing your carpet, your mat, whatever. Hike the hips up. Try to drive the heels to the floor. Bend the legs. Keep the shoulders pulled out of the ears. Bring those knees, actually touch the floor because I want you really close, and then pop it back up. Press through. So we are just doing, this is, believe it or not, neutral. And here's your stretch move. All right? So if we had both knees supported on the ground, we want hands directly under shoulders. The back is in S curve. This is the beginning for a primal movement pattern. Push up, heels to floor. What, pray tell, is primal movement pattern? We're going to do it. Get yourself into your hover mode. You are going to move opposite hand and foot. Right? There's 4. There's 5. Pull it back. 5, 4, 3, 2. You're in line with your parts. Drive it back up, heels to floor. Walk your body back to its start position. Soften your knees, roll yourself up. These are all things that you can do every single day, which we're going to another one. So come down into your space. If you have your band, your yoga strap, your towel, it might be useful. If you need a little sip of water, grab one. This is just going to be about, we'll say I'm going to try very hard to give us a little 20-minute workout. The 20 minutes, I just consider that prep. And you all, for anybody who knows me, knows that as soon as I start moving, I kind of just lose track of time. And in my classes, it's very hard for me to stop at an hour. So today, when I say we're doing 20 minutes, I'm going to try really hard to keep it at 20 minutes. All right, where are we going? You've got your band, your towel, your strap. You're holding it. I want you to just settle your back body into the floor, feet flat. Your ear, roll your shoulders up for a moment, right? As your shoulders are up, chin to chest, take the arms, pick up the leg number 2. How do we get our band over our legs, and then a good push out? Pull the legs back, retract to the band, let your upper body come back down. So you're actively tucking the chin ever so slight, pull the belly into the spine, raise up because you're doing this little bit of a crunch. Take the other leg, so we don't want to keep starting with the same leg. Now the other leg initiates, and then leg number 2. Push the legs out. The arms kind of lower a little bit. Pull it in. Retrace your steps. Release the crunch. That's only 2. We're going to shoot for about 8. Pick up your head by drawing your chin to your chest and heeling yourself up into a little roll. You're pulling on your band, work it around your foot. Maybe the other leg has to stretch out so that you can figure a way how to navigate your body. Both legs extended, your arms are long, your trunk is in full activation. Rock back, sweep. Here we go. That's 3. Hold. Maybe you're able to keep a little slack in the band, and you just kind of lasso the legs, and then you tighten everything up. Pull it back. 4. Here we go. 5. Push. So I've given you a couple of options here. Lift. 6. When you come back down, if your arms want to stretch all the way back to the floor, I don't have a problem with that. I just want to make sure when the arms travel beyond the vertical line and they end up back here, that you don't arch your back off the floor. So keep engaged regardless of where your arms are. You've got 2 more. Pull it around, push it out. Look body. You've got one more. Pull it up, push it out. If you're trying to whiz through these really quickly, then you're missing some of the nuance of the challenge. And release, relax. Sideline. So, legs are bent. You're going to prop yourself up on your elbow for a moment. And I just want you to think about a little bit of shoulder training. Seems to be the theme, right? Shoulder training. So in this position, it just looks like you're hanging out. But what's really happening is we are permitting this relaxed bad line, and then we're commanding the action of shoulder depression and then slight retraction, right? So release it. That's a lifter getting involved when the shoulder comes to the ear, which is where your body is its most comfortable. And now take from the armpit, start gliding, pushing into the floor with your elbow is really all you have to think about until you get up, and then you pull everything back. And when you pull everything back, you should feel like, oh, I actually want to contract my abdominals now. Slide down, push up. Slide down, push up. What is a huge part of this setup is to make sure that your shoulder and elbow are starting in this tracking of elbow under the shoulder. That's really important. And this is one of the setups of how, when I evaluate people and I have them doing push movements, right, or push or pull, before I give them instruction, I like to see what their body, release and relax, other side. Sometimes I don't want to over instruct, so I try to watch the body before I start breaking it down and going, oh, you're doing that wrong and that wrong. So, right, if you come down here and you've just flipped over, your natural setup, the setup that should feel right to you, is when you have your elbow under your shoulder. But yet so often people are disconnected from this part of their body and they put their elbow way out, and that immediately bites the shoulder. So get your foundation set, right? Glide down, push up. This is a part of the body, the depressors, that you might not give any thought in the course of your day. My depressors, what is she talking about? But yet your ability to depress and retract and draw in is like the foundation of every single exercise. You're like, huh? At some point when you're doing bicep curls, like before you actually initiate the lifting of the bar or the dumbbell, you should have already enlisted this action. So if you're like, well, I never do that, all right? At some point, if you're doing tricep press downs, before you ever push the bar down to your thighs, right, you should have already cleaned up your line by depressing and retracting and pulling the head back and drawing your abs in. If you sit down and you're getting ready to do lat pull down and your arms are in full stretch, if you just pull your elbows down and you haven't retracted, and if you haven't depressed and retracted, your whole pull down is starting from the wrong position. When you do bench press, so are you starting to get the picture here? If this is a foreign action for you, then chances are, if you're in the gym, whether or not you're doing push-ups, pull-ups, if you haven't mastered this, then you're probably starting all of those other exercises from the wrong spot. 3 more. Push, pull. Push. Now, belly down. So, you guys are going to keep me on my timeline, right? This is going to be the last thing. You will need your band again. Because remember, I still need to get in the pool and do my swim. And one of these days, I'm going to take you and show you what it is that I do. Because I don't just, it's for me, it's not about doing laps, even though that's a phenomenal workout. I use the pool and the pool edge for so many other things. I just don't want to give it all to you in one day. Okay, that's why I'm out here in my swimsuit, essentially. So you've got your band or your towel or your yoga strap, and let's just give it a little pull here. Rock the hips, press the hip bones down to the floor. The legs are strong. And can you take one arm, pull it around you? How hard was that? Try it with the other arm. That might actually be really challenging. If you're still okay, try it with both arms. Right? Both arms should free you up a little bit. Now, if you can't get there, never fear, because I have an alternative movement. If you can't get your arms to pull over your body, I want you to raise them, lift the chest ever so slight, pull on your band, and draw the band towards your clavicles, and stretch it out. So you're opting to either do the pullovers or the band glide to the clavicle, or maybe you're like, well, I can do them both. So go ahead and alternate. That's 4. If you are alternating, I'm going to stay in alternating mode, then I want to make sure that at your end position, that you're not holding your head up, looking forward. You just keep looking down at your mat, lift your body, pull back to whatever degree you can, stretch it, contract, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. One more, big sweep, big stretch, release the band, prop yourself up on your elbows. Let's look at our parts. Your elbows are going to be under your shoulders, and you're going to turn your palms up. And now, since your elbows really are under your shoulders, you should see that from your wrist to your elbow, from right to left side, that you've got parallel lines. If your hands are closing into the middle, separate them until you get a parallel line. And remember our depression and elevated shoulders. So this now takes on a whole new terminology, and it's called protraction and retraction. Here we go. If you just let your body collapse, chances are the shoulders have pulled up into the jawline. I want you to press the elbows into the floor and extend through the trunk. Now, glide your shoulders away from your ears, okay? Try to maintain this retracted shoulder as you gently lower the torso, okay? So let's start from the beginning again. Collapse down. In your collapsed position, it's wrong. The shoulders are pulled up to the jawline. So first and foremost, we're going to take our elbows, press the elbows into the floor to get you your extension. And once you're extended, you can turn your head and put your eye on that shoulder, and I want you to watch it slide away from your jawline. And now that is your depressors and retractors hard at work. So that's where your movement, that's where your shoulder should stay as you come down and drive back up. This is upper middle back postural training, okay? So when you come down and the shoulders pop back up to the jawline, you've lost the control. Shoulders away from the ears, elbows are firmly driving down, okay? There's just one more component of this, so we've got about 5 more repetitions. When you come down, there is a natural stop position when everything is retracted. If your head has a secondary lowering phase, you've just broken the nice clean line for the cervical spine and the thoracic. So let's do 3 more. Lower the chest. Try not to let the head have a second lowering phase. Push up. The chin is slightly retracted. Glide down. push back up. One more. Shoulders away from the jawline, gliding down, pushing up. And now turn the hands, move them towards. If you're working on a mat, the mat just becomes a great visual aid for you, okay? It's a reference point. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to separate them almost as wide as the mat is wide, just to help give me, I don't need my hands that wide, but it feels really good for me to separate them. And now if this is a stretch line that doesn't make you feel like you're getting much stretch, then just walk the hands back a little bit, okay? Where are you stretching? We're stretching our torso, so we're stretching our phenomenal abdominals. That's the extension, but you are getting some compression through the spine. So if this doesn't feel good, then stay on your elbows or move your hands forward a little bit more. You can keep backing it up. It's up to you. Shoulders out of the ears, just reset that. And now take your elbows. If your elbows are pointed out to the sides, we've got to roll them in, re-extend the arms, and then bending the arms, release and relax. And I'm going to have you take your time getting up. I am going to sign off with you and just say thank you so much for joining me. Stay tuned for the next session, and maybe I'll be showing you what I do from the edge of the pool and whatnot, because I swear I get the best ab workout. I get primal movement patterns, and it's always good fun. So have a great day, you guys.